Hello and welcome to the fourth 6 weeks curriculum preview. Our focus this 6 weeks is on drama and fiction, writing a narrative and an expository essay, correctly using a variety of sentences, and then we're being introduced to the use of commas after introductory phrases and clauses, the use of semicolons, colons, and hyphens. We always want to start with our standards, so let's look early at what the standards require. Standard 3A asks us to describe multiple themes in a work of fiction. This means we need to have a rich piece of fiction that has more than one theme, and we need to encourage our students to express theme in a statement rather than just a word. As you'll see in a minute when we look at assessment, really we're given themes more as a sentence or as a complete thought instead of just a universal word like friendship or love. It's more of a whole development of what the theme is. Standard 5A asks us to explain a playwright's use of dialogue and stage directions. So we're really going to look at a piece of drama and explain what the author does, so author's craft, in how they have a person speak or the words that they have them say, or their use of stage directions and what those stage directions tell us about the action or the event or the person. Standards 6A, 6B, and 6C are review of fiction. 6A has us explain the influence of the setting on the plot development. So we look at where a story takes place and then how does that affect the plot. So if a story takes place in the middle of winter and the people are starving, that's kind of important. It would be very different if it was spring and summer and food might be readily available. 6B has us analyze the development of the plot through the internal and external responses of the characters. So we're looking at characterization there and how the characters interact within themselves and with each other and how that moves the plot forward or keeps things happening. 6C has us analyze different forms of point of view. Standard 9A has us explain the difference between the theme of literary work and the author's purpose in an expository text. We're pretty good at theme and we're pretty good at purpose, but can they determine the difference? For author's purpose, we have to move beyond just persuade, inform, and entertain, because an author's purpose is usually to persuade to do something or to tell us about or to inform on. And so we want the students to be able to state a statement about the purpose and what the purpose is. Standard 19C use a variety of complete sentences. So sentence combining is very important here. Can students write past a simple sentence? Can they write a compound sentence, a complex sentence? And can they tell when there's a problem with the sentence, such as the number is off or the pronouns don't match? Can they correctly have a subject and verb agreement? We need to be looking at all things like that. 20BI has us use commas after introductory clauses, and 20BII is recognize and use semicolons, colons, and hyphens. Semicolons, colons, and hyphens are a totally new skill in 7th grade, and so students will need a lot of practice on these because it is a kind of hard concept to grasp. To me, though, that pairs right with use a variety of complete sentences, because to get to a complex sentence, a lot of times it takes a semicolon, a colon, or a hyphen. So if you can combine those, I think you'll get a lot more bang for your buck. We have to also remember that our Figure 19 skills overlay with each of these skills. 58% of the last year's STAR test was Figure 19, which is a huge number. Skills cannot be taught in isolation from metacognitive processes. We have to partner these things up. And we also have to remember that our standards call for continuous application of previously taught skills, meaning we cannot just focus on our grade level. We also have to hold students responsible for and remind them of things we've taught previously, and we're going to address that some more in just a minute. Let's first look at the assessment and how these standards were tested last year. If you notice, this question is on Standard 3, which is theme, and it's paired with 19D, and it just asks, what is the primary theme of this story? And you can see here is a theme statement. And there's 4 options, and the students have to weigh out which theme best fits the story. 6A, 6B, and 6C were the fiction standards, and we went over those in the third 6 weeks preview, so you might want to review that if you're wanting to look back at those. So strand 9 and figure 19D, that's the author's purpose strand. The question is, the author's main purpose for writing the blog entry is to. So you can see, first of all, there's a different kind of text, so it's a blog that they're looking at. And then second, what is the main purpose? So the author could have multiple purposes, but which one is there the most evidence for? And you can see they use different words. Urge could be kind of persuade. Offer support could be inform. Encourage could be inform. And then convince could be persuade as well. But you can see it's past the basic persuade, inform, entertain in order to have a statement that goes to what the question is asking. Here's another strand 9 question. What is the author's primary purpose for writing this selection? And you can see there's 4 options there as well, and they're longer statements. It's not just one word. So let's talk about previously taught skills. We've created a skills trace for the 7th grade writing test. It's posted in Canvas under Just-in-Time Learning. You might want to look at it. Out of the 26 editing questions on last year's STAR, only 3 skills are true 7th grade skills. And those are semicolons, correctly using a variety of sentences, and a common use after an introductory phrase. All 3 of those are in this 6 weeks, so these are brand new to our students. There's only 4 questions on these skills, so that means 22 of the questions are previously taught skills. Therefore, it is critical that we practice and we know those previously taught skills. One example is apostrophes. There were several questions on apostrophes that were taught in 2nd grade. If we're not practicing those, our students are going to hit that and not have had any indication that maybe they need that skill still. So it's important that we look at student writing, not just their essays, but also just their general drafting writing. What errors are in common? If we're seeing that all of our students are misspelling I before E words, then we need to do a quick mini lesson on that. If they're not capitalizing I, we need to do a quick reminder of you capitalize the pronoun I. And then we need to develop a set of campus expectations so that it's not just you capitalize I in ELA classroom, it's also you capitalize I in all classrooms. Our reading teachers can also help us because they do reader response all the time, so there's more writing samples where if they're seeing common errors, they could also do a quick mini lesson because grammar and writing and reading go hand in hand. So there's no reason not to address a common error in any classroom. So some resources for you for this 6 weeks. Here's a good review video for theme. It's a quick just monologue almost of what theme is and what theme is not. For drama, here's some options for finding some dramas. Here's a website for 6 free short plays. For commas and variety of sentence, you have mini lessons for revision, which has some great comma lessons and sentence combining lessons. And there's also sentence combining in your Acts of Teaching book. The 7th grade skills trace, which I think you're really going to want to look at, is posted in Canvas under the Just-in-Time Learning. Have a great day.